Hello everyone, I'm Wes, and welcome to Retro Console Repairs and Mods. On this channel, we give old school consoles and handhelds some TLC, fresh upgrades, and slick mods. If you like what I do, please remember to smash the like button, subscribe to this channel, and share the video with everyone you know. So in this episode, we're actually going to be doing a review. So a couple weeks ago, 2 weeks ago if you watched the channel, you'll remember seeing this Super Nintendo that I repaired. So, if you notice, this Super Nintendo shell is kind of old and yellow and ugly. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be swapping that Super Nintendo shell into this. So this is a brand new transparent shell from Bitfunx. So you can find these on AliExpress. I've used these before, but this is the first time I'm going to be doing a review on it because of the new channel. So if you're looking at replacing your old yellow, ugly Super Nintendo shell, this might be an option for you. Let's get started. Alright, so the first thing we're going to do is get this tore down. What to do with this? Going to the gun range Saturday. Maybe I'll take it with me. Alright, so the first thing I'm going to say about this kit is there appears to be more in this kit than there used to be. So a lot of these bits that we have here, these are for the buttons here. These go underneath here. You can see them. Well, actually you can't. But like this button here is actually this. So I'm used to these not being in this kit. So I guess maybe depending on the vendor that you order them from, some of them might have these, but some of them may not. So this one did come with them. The other thing I noticed that's different now is it comes with this controller port board now. You can see that this is the original one. So they used to just come with a plastic cover that you would take this one off of your original and replace it with these. So, but now there's actually an actual completely clear controller cover here. So that's kind of cool, I guess. All right. So let's get this thing reassembled. So I've had some pretty good luck with these things in the past when it comes to the plastic that they're made out of, because this is molded plastic, so it's brand new, and when you put the screws in, you're going to be actually threading the screws into the plastic. So the screw holes aren't pre-cut. So be careful when you run these in. I am not going to run them in with the screw gun. You told me use the screw gun to actually take them out, but I'm definitely not going to use the screw gun to run them back in. I would highly encourage you not to do that. So one of the other things I'm not going to do is I'm not going to put this RF shield back on the chips because I actually want to see what's underneath of here. So let me get this. Plastic feels pretty good. It doesn't feel like it's too brittle, so it's not going to crack or anything like that. It doesn't feel like that. Another thing that I notice is this back corner screw. There's two different shells for these Super Nintendos. One have a longer post back here for the separate soundboard. This one is made so it'll work with the one that doesn't. So you have two options. One is to just leave this screw out. It should be okay. It seems like it's pretty sturdy. The other is you could put a longer screw in it, just don't tighten it down all the way. So I'm going to opt to just not put the screw back there. So I will have one leftover screw. So the other thing is you get to assemble this top half of the shell now. So I'm going to move this off to the side. And they do give you these clear buttons. They give you the choice of these clear buttons, or they give you these purple ones that you can put these stickers on. I'm not a fan of either one, and I usually like to use the ones from the original shell, but as you can see, these are a bit discolored from the sun. So I actually went down into my boneyard and I was able to find two of the originals off of a unit that was pretty decent. So I think I'm going to opt to use these in this top shell. So my opinion on this is that if they're going to give me all the parts to do this and not have to actually salvage any off of the top, why don't they give me screws so I don't have to take this apart and take the screws? So that's my only complaint here. Same thing is I don't think they gave me a spring, so I need to harvest the spring out of here. You'll see that when I take it apart to use in this one. So I'm gonna move this off to the side because I do have to disassemble this old top shell. The other thing you're going to need is this spring right here. So hopefully you guys can see that on the camera. There's a spring right here. You're going to have to take that off and put that off to the side. And here is our... I have to push on either one of these right here to get this top plate to pop off, and that will release the cartridge slot door. So I need the spring from that. Just like that. So I'm going to throw these off to the side and grab my shell again. Start to reassemble this. I'm actually going to use the originals from mine and save the ones that came in the kit. I don't know what their quality is. You could do whatever you want to do, but I don't know, they just seem like they're harder. They're like a harder plastic. They're not as soft as the old ones. So that's what I'm used to. I'm gonna use the old ones. So to do that, basically all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna push on either side of these to pop these buttons out. Be careful because this plastic is starting to get old. It's probably kind of brittle nowadays. I don't really care about these buttons because they're very discolored, as I mentioned. And then this piece comes out. Once that's done, I'm going to take my buttons and push them back through, just like I took the old ones off. The slot, the arm here that holds the cartridge in, but this one didn't have it, so I'm not going to replace it because most people don't use it anyway. This little piece of plastic right here is what holds it on. You can see that the spring is in a little slot right here. The one arm of the spring and the other one goes underneath the door. I guess I'm not going to use it too much. I don't know how to run it. Once we start running. Then we'll put our spring back on. And there we go. So you have options here for the eject button here. So I could put the original eject button back in. You guys can take a look at that and see how that looks. But I kind of like the one that came with it. It allows me to see everything underneath. So I'm going to stick with that, but it's your preference. Forgot this. Let's see if I can sneak it in there without having to take the whole thing apart again. Thank goodness. There we go. You have one more thing to look at. So I've noticed that depending on who you order these from, some of them will send you decals and some of them will not. So this one that I ordered them from this time, sent me the decals. So they actually have some pretty cool ones here. So you have decals for the power, eject, and reset button. They have these silver Super Famicom one, and they also have this silver Super Nintendo one. So I tend to think that the nice colored one here looks really pops on this clear shell. So what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to try to put this Super Nintendo one right where this one used to be. So I'm going to do that off camera and show you what it looks like when it's done. All right, well, here we go. Here's the finished product. Not too shabby, if I say so myself. I think it turned out extremely well. So it comes with these little rubber feet that you can put on. Got the decals on, as you can see. I think the original buttons make the red and the colors here pop pretty good. I'm actually really happy with it. So, no issues with the plastic. Everything looks good. No, no weird spots or... The plastic is good to put the screws into. It's not brittle or anything like that. I think it'll hold up over time. So, there you go. There's my Bitfunx SNES shell review. My next review will probably be on a... You know what? We'll keep it a secret. I'll see you all the next time.